Good morning, Pins and Ginger. Okay, so I am going to be, as you see in the title, making some journal covers this morning. I've had a very rough morning already, so I'm a little out of sorts, but let's see what we can do here. Okay, so I have this piece that I had started making a cover with. It is two pieces of cardstock glued together um, to give it some weight, and this was basically just an experiment. So I think I want to cover it with this tea or coffee stained paper, and I don't know what kind. It's just going to be a quickie little journal, but this is how I'm going to cover it. So again, this is two pieces of cardstock, just plain, I think it's 64-pound cardstock glued together. So I was trying to decide how I want to adhere the paper to this. I think I'm going to use tape because I have so much double-sided tape. I really need to use it up. So that's what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to actually run it where the fold is first to kind of shore up that fold. Oh, where's my ruler? I need to put my water brushes up. And so I was doing a art journal spread yesterday for my other channel, SCRAPCRAFTASTIC, and that's going to go up this afternoon. That's part of the reason why I'm late over here, because I was trying to upload that video and get it ready, but YouTube was going extremely slow. And it's probably not YouTube, it's probably my internet service. And I'm just setting my phone up in front of me so that I can make sure that I am still live as I go because of the internet service. So then I'm going to come and get as close to the edge as possible. And I still didn't refill my glue because I do like to put a little bit of glue on the tape when I am adhering it to whatever I'm adhering it to give me a little wiggle room in case things don't lay down quite right. So then I kind of just fill this in. And I'm pretty sure my hands are going to be shaking today because, yeah, it's been a rough morning. And I'm fairly calm now, but let's see if we can relax and do some crafting. So this is the first of two covers that I'm going to try and do today. So this is kind of like a soft bound cover, just with some leftover cardstock. And then the other one is going to be a chipboard cover, but it's going to be with this chipboard here that is actually the dividers from cat food, a cat food box. So like now, since I've been making books and journals, whenever I come across, sorry about my bracelets, whenever I come across some nice chipboard, I hold on to it. I'm not really crazy about using cereal boxes, but I do. And I do hold on to them. Let me just varnish a little bit more just to make sure that tape is down good. This little pokey tool is from the new craft supplies that they have at Dollar Tree. And for stuff like this, as far as removing the tape and everything, it works pretty good, I must say. I do not care for their clear glue, which is this, because it takes forever to dry. So this is some art glitter glue and a needle nose applicator. So let me turn it upside down so I can start coming out. Let's see. How do I want to start this? I think I'm going to just start on this side. And then do the other side. Okay. So, and fortunately, this paper here has a dot grid printed on it. So that kind of helps me line this up for the most part. Now let's go ahead and do this side. It doesn't so much matter. I just like to keep it, if you keep it straight from the beginning, then you have fewer complications as you go. So when I'm doing stuff, I always like it to be as straight as possible. I guess I don't really need it for the spine. Let's put some anyway. Okay. So there's that. I have no plans of what I want to do with this. Did I lose my lid? I need to put a piece of washi tape on that so that it doesn't get lost. But I have another lid. Oh, there it is. Okay. Let me get a piece of washi tape and put on that right now. So that it does not keep getting lost. Let's see if I can rig it. Let's see. Taking it off might help. I don't suppose that's going to stay forever, but come on. That's not going to work the way I intended, so I'll just do it like this. Until I need to change the nozzle. Totally not straight. Okay, so hopefully it will be easier for me to see it with that hanging on it. Okay. Back to what I'm supposed to be doing. So we're gonna just burnish this, make sure everything is adhered well, and I'm gonna set it aside for a while before I do my folding and everything. Okay, so for these are all the boards that I have collected so far. And I'm going to make another small journal with these. I was playing around with what size I want it to be. So these are 5 inches tall. They're a little taller than I wanted. I want something really small, like 3 by 4. because I think this is 6 by 4, 4 by 6. So I want something smaller than that. I think 3 by 4 would be good. Let's do 3.5 by 4.5. That way I can do 3 by 4 pages, I think. So if I do 3.5 by 4.5, it's going to give me a little room on the inside, or maybe I should do 4.25. Let's do this. This is not my good paper trimmer, so we're good on that. I need 4.5 this way. No, I need 3.5 this way. I'm trying to get the most out of the piece of chipboard that I can get. And then 4.5. And I'm gonna, I don't know if I should double this chipboard or not, because once I once I put the paper on it, it's gonna make it even more sturdy. And it's not super flimsy, so. Good morning, Miss Lady Diva. I'm drinking honey. Miss Lady Diva is drinking honey citron tea and watching. Oh, I've already had my tea for the morning, but it wasn't a wholesome tea like that. It was a bad Southern sweet tea. Well, it was half sweet, half unsweet, but still. Okay, should I double or not? And I think that's a little wider than I hoped. I don't think I'm going to double it. But now I need a spine. So I'm going to make a small spine. Let's see. Let me put it on here. Let's see what we get. I don't think I want 2 inches. Do I? Maybe. It could be nice and chunky. Let's do 1 3/4. And then I can put 2 small, but I like to do 3s. Nope, let's keep it simple. 1 3/4 inch spine by 4.5. So all these things you need to kind of figure out when you're doing your cover. Usually, depending on how big of a journal I'm making, I would double the chipboard because this is a good weight, but it's not the heaviest. So if I wanted something really heavy and sturdy and strong, then I would just take 2 pieces like this and glue them together. But I'm not going to go that route this time. So this will be our cover like this. So then I would just decide what cardstock I want to put on the outside. And I think I'm going to do the easy way of doing this and just use 1 cardstock. I could use my decorative cardstock to make the cover, but for this one, let's keep it simple because I want to use a 6 by 6 paper pad. For this, I'm going to use the Capital Sheet Designs paper for this. So I think I want to use a black cardstock base, like so. Basically the same thing we just did, only we're gonna have pieces like this. And I like to leave a big gap in between the pieces because I'm gonna scoop this down too. Because once you fold it, they will butt up against each other. So if you put them too close, it won't fold properly. You'll have more problems with it laying flat. And it's just, yeah, it's better to leave a nice size gap. I think I probably leave much more space in between than I need to, but I'd rather be safe than sorry. And depending on how much cardstock you put on the cover and how much you build it up, you need that space. Let me go ahead and start putting tape on, because I'll sit here and play with lining things up for a lifetime. So let's see. So something nice did happen this morning, though. Amongst all the other chaos, my daughter stopped by. She was off today, which is rare for her to be off during the week. So she stopped by this morning, and I was just cleaning and piddling around, and she asked me what I was doing today or whatever. And then I was just like chatting with her about that. And I said, I'm hungry. And she said, you're hungry. What are you going to eat? And I said, a banana, because that's what I was going to eat. And then come in here and play with y'all. And she said, that's all you're going to eat? She said, you don't want anything else? And I said, well, I would like a Beyond sandwich from Dunkin' Donuts, because I'm like hooked on those things. So, and I said, and I would like a tea, but I'm not going to get that. So she left and texted me a little while later and asked me, what was the name of that sandwich again? And she asked me, what else did you say you wanted? So I guess she went to Dunkin' Donuts and got my sandwich and my tea for me. So that was nice. So let's look on the bright side of things, right? Okay. I'm also using this, let me take that off. This tape is from Dollar Tree, the Crafter's Square. So far, it seems to work well, I must say. It's very sticky. I don't know how well it will hold up over time, but it seems very much like the other double-sided tapes that I use. So, and it's about really the same price that I paid for the other tapes. So, and I would get those only when they were 50% off. So, like, I think this is from Joanne, the Miss Sparkle collection. And when it went on 50% off, it might have been even more off than that. I stocked up on them, so I have plenty of double-sided tape. And being that I'm in Florida, I don't know if the climate will affect them, so I'm trying to use them in case they go bad. So let's smooth those down. Let's line up the ruler. So this ruler has a center finder on it. And there we go. Let's find our center. I could actually tape the ruler down so that it doesn't move, but I won't do that. So that's where I want it to fall. Let's make sure this is burnished good because it's looking a little funny. Peach, ginger, turmeric. Oh, I could get it without the cheese, but I love eggs, so I wouldn't get it without the eggs. Eggs are like, I have to control my consumption of eggs. That's like my favorite breakfast food. Which is amazing because my mom doesn't even eat eggs. She never did. So I was like, how did I come to? Now I should put some wet glue on this, but I'm not going to. It's like, how did I become such an egg lover? My mom doesn't even eat eggs. Okay. Hopefully that's good and straight. I'm going to move this over just a hair so that I can get a good look at a 1/4 inch, because I want to leave a 1/4 inch gap in there. And this time I am going to put a little glue, little wet adhesive on this so that I can have some wiggle room. So even though this is a small book, if you don't have like 12 by 12 cardstock to cover with, or you need something bigger, you can always tape 2 pieces of cardstock together. And maybe one day I'll show how to do that in another video. Why does that not look like it's okay? See, it didn't look straight, so turn the ruler around the other way. That's not a 1/4 inch. There we go. Kind of. I think it's straight. All right, let's do the other one. Come on up. I should probably pull the chat up on my phone since it's sitting in front of me so I can keep up with what y'all are saying. Good morning, Miss Kelly. Okay. Nope. Yep. Nope. Yep. Maybe I should have put my glasses on. That's too far over. No wiggle room. Stuck already. Come on. Cooperate. I'm gonna leave it. It's not gonna let me. I don't think. Maybe. Yeah. Come on. There we go. Let's try again. See, that's why I do the wet glue. That's better. Yeah. Okay. That was almost bad. Okay. So now we can trim off the excess. A lot of people cut that off. I don't think I want to cut it off. I'm not going to take that kind of chance. With the scissors, I mean, they cut it off. I'm just going to use a paper trimmer and trim it off. The bottom is a little thicker, but I'm going to leave it. Okay, so basically, we're at the same point on both of these. Let's get some of these papers out of the way. So from here, of course, you would let it dry. This one, I'm going to go ahead and miter the corners. Mitering is when you angle. You cut it at an angle. Excuse me. And, oh, I didn't quite center that. So something like this. And you don't cut all the way to where the corner of your chipboard or cardstock or whatever you're using meets your cover piece. You leave like maybe about 1/8 of an inch there, that way so you can fold in your corner and have a neat corner. So I'm not going to go all the way to the cardstock. Then I'm just going to go out like that. I've never done this before with a coffee or tea stained paper, so it's usually always been cardstock. So in the event that this is dry, then you just kind of fold over those flaps, and that's kind of how I do it. This is easy to fold because it is paper. Okay, so then I probably shouldn't have cut them first. I always forget not to do that first because it makes it easier to do the tape. But I'm going to do the tape. Should I do it the other way? Let's do it this way. Let me see if this tape is wide enough to cover the whole tab. It pretty much is. So I'm just going to go around these tabs with the tape. And you could use wet glue to do this as well. This tape keeps sticking to me. Okay. Seems like I spend a lot of time in my live streams applying tape. Okay, so that one's a little short. It's not going to let me use the thick tape, so we're going to use the thin tape on it. And then on these two sides where the thick tape didn't come all the way to the inside where the fold is, I'm going to, if I can get this tape to stop sticking to me, apply a thin piece right on the edge of our cardstock on the inside here, so that when I fold this over, this will stick as well. These two are pretty good on the ends. So there we go. Get rid of the sticky, icky. So then I need to trim off the excess tape. What made you nervous? Pine and Ginger said that made her nervous. I think I know what you mean. When I was putting down that chipboard and had to take it back up. Yeah. I have little pieces of paper everywhere from my little art journaling thing yesterday. I tried to clean it up, but I don't think I did a good job. So you burnish down the tape. That's to help get it to stick really well to your surface or your paper, cardstock, or whatever the case may be. And I usually start with the big sides first. So this is less nerve-wracking than the rest of it because it's already been folded. You just kind of, everything's in place. You're just pulling it tight and folding it over. Like so. Okay. Yep. Okay. So then I go in with the bone folder on that little corner where we left a little excess and make sure that that is folded over as well. I'm not really good at doing this corner thing. It's taken me a long time to even figure out what in the world needs to be done, but I think I kind of got it right. So don't 100% go on what I tell you as far as the corners go. I'm still perfecting that. So on these, since I folded the corners in, I made sure that that excess is folded over. Then I'm just going to do it like that. Folded. So let's make sure that corner is down. That one is down. Come on, tape. And don't do like me. Try to keep your fingers off of the tape as much as possible. So fold that over like that. And voila, we have our cover ready to go. Then you kind of just need to, let me use my ruler for this. I don't want my paper to gap. It does sometimes, which is another reason why I like to use the tape, because it kind of keeps it from doing that too much. Let me burnish this down good before I fold. So that's the issue with doing this way and not having a space on your spine. So like if you're using a cereal box, you'll run into that when you get ready to fold after you covered it. If you don't cut the cereal box and the spine apart, like the covers apart and from the spine or whatever, then you'll get that buckling of the paper, the creasing, I don't know what you call it, but I don't like it. I want it to fold and be nice and smooth. So you kind of have to work with it and force it into submission. Keep everything smooth. So now if I'd used a wet glue to do this, this would have wrinkled and wrinkled and wrinkled. So, and then I would have had to wait a long time for it to dry before I could fold it too. So there we have it. Now I kind of wanted this to be some kind of vintagey looking journal, which is why I used the tea stain paper over it. A Beyond Sandwich. A Beyond Sandwich is a meatless, Beyond Meat. It's the meat that's in the sandwich that's called Beyond. It's a meatless sausage. So vegetarian, what do they call it? Plant-based. That's it. plant-based sausage, and it's on a English muffin, which I don't even care for that. I kind of threw half of that away. It's on an English muffin, but it's not like a real English muffin, and it has an egg and cheese. And I don't like sausage, so I prefer vegetarian sausages. So that's like right up my alley, and it's got a hint of a sausage taste without the gross sausage. So do I want to trim this down a little bit more? So anyway, so this is that cover. It's ready to go. I need to, of course, bend it and make it a little more pliable, but as far as the basics, it's ready to go. So I'm going to trim a little bit off of this because I don't want to have to adhere all of that down. Let's make sure they're straight. This is my raggedy trimmer. I don't want to use that for that. This one.